Numbers 22. The Israelites are not wandering in the desert anymore. They've taken over small cities and are just hanging out at this point on their way to the promised land. Which means it's a perfect time to insert two new characters into the story who want to get revenge on these Israelites for taking over their land. Then the Israelites traveled to the plains of Moab and camped along the Jordan across from Jericho. Now Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites, and Moab was terrified because there were so many people. Indeed, Moab was filled with dread because of the Israelites. We're just throwing in new people now as if we already know them. Come on. Did someone pay the Bible's writers to pad the book? Also, really? You're scared of the people who barely have any food and only survived a snake attack by looking at a snake statue? I could take on these people, and I have zero upper body strength. The Moabites said to the elders of Midian, "This horde is going to lick up everything around us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field." So Balak, son of Zippor, who was king of Moab at that time, sent messengers to summon Balaam, son of Beor, who was at Pethor, near the Euphrates River, in his native land. Balak said, "A people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled next to me. Now come and put a curse on these people, because they are too powerful for me. Perhaps then I will be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that whoever you bless is blessed, and whoever you curse is cursed." Oh, it's nice to have a friend you can call when you just want to murder some squatters but need a little bit of help. Also, they're gonna lick up everything? Not the phrasing I would have gone with, but you do you, Bible. You know this is never gonna work. The whole overarching theme of this story is that God is the only one with real power. So Balaam might have been summoned to destroy people with his curses, but he can't really do that by himself. More like Balaam. That was stupid. The elders of Moab and Midian left, taking with them the fee for divination. When they came to Balaam, they told him what Balak had said. "Spend the night here," Balaam said to them, "and I will report back to you with the answer the Lord gives me." So the Moabite officials stayed with him. So the elders are telling Balaam that he's been summoned to put a curse on people, and they have cash to pay him for it. If nothing else, that's kind of a cool message to get. My mailbox just has spam every day, but Balaam is getting hex requests. Is it weird that Balaam is going to the same God who's defending the Israelites to find out how to destroy the Israelites? And how many people have this direct line to God? Here I thought Moses was special, but no, everyone had God's phone number. Whatever, at least people are getting paid for divination. Everyone's side hustle works in the Bible. God came to Balaam and asked, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam said to God, "Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, sent me this message. A people that has come out of Egypt covers the face of the land. Now come and put a curse on them for me. Perhaps then I will be able to fight them and drive them away." Ooh, whose side will God take? Honestly, it could go either way. You never really know who God is rooting for. Also, why is God asking, "Who are these men with you?" It's God. God would know the answer. There is no need to make statements in the form of a question. This isn't Jeopardy. But God said to Balaam, "Do not go with them. You must not put a curse on those people, because they are blessed." Wow, God is supporting the Israelites. I mean, he starved them and murdered a whole bunch of them and tortured them, but deep down, he loves them. Kind of. The next morning, Balaam got up and said to Balak's officials, "Go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you." So the Moabite officials returned to Balak and said, "Balaam refused to come with us." Then Balak sent other officials, more numerous and more distinguished than the first. Why is Balak doing this? Balaam said no. The case is settled. Sending a new group of more powerful delegates isn't going to change that. But if they're going to try, then they better bring along something worthwhile. And they do. They came to Balaam and said, "This is what Balak, son of Zippor, says. Do not let anything keep you from coming to me, because I will reward you handsomely and do whatever you say. Come and put a curse on these people for me." Truly the Holy Spirit right there. Come on, help us murder people. We'll pay you a lot. Just put a curse on these people and we'll hand you this blank check. But Balaam answered them, "Even if Balak gave me all the silver and gold in his palace, I could not do anything great or small to go beyond the command of the Lord my God. Now spend the night here so that I can find out what else the Lord will tell me." That night, God came to Balaam and said, "Since these men have come to summon you, go with them, but do only what I tell you." Oh, damn. God's telling Balaam to play a double-crossing secret agent just to mess with the other side. I know we're still talking about random characters, but I do like this story arc. Very Alias. Balaam is like the Jennifer Garner of the Bible. Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the Moabite officials. But God was very angry when he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him. Balaam was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand, it turned off the road into a field. Balaam beat it to get it back on the road. What the hell is going on? Can God not make up his mind? He told Balaam to go pretend to destroy the Israelites as long as Balaam did whatever God said. And as soon as Balaam begins the journey, one of God's henchmen is in the middle of the road with a weapon. Surely that's a contradiction and the atheists have won, right? One explanation for that apparent contradiction is that even after God okayed the mission, Balaam may have been thinking about the money instead of defeating the enemies for the right reasons. So God's here to put his mind back on the right track. This is why Christian apologists get paid the big bucks, to rationalize every idiotic twist in the Bible. But you know what? This whole donkey seeing an angel thing just proves my point that anyone who claims to have seen a messenger of God is probably an ass. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path through the vineyards, with walls on both sides. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it pressed close to the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against it. So he beat the donkey again. I can't believe God told this guy to go on the journey, and he just got his foot crushed as a result. And his donkey just keeps getting beaten. Never listen when a holy person tells you to do something. Also, it is weird that Balaam doesn't seem to see this angel in the road. But no one else seems to care about that. Then the angel of the Lord moved on ahead and stood in a narrow place where there was no room to turn either to the right or to the left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it lay down under Balaam, and he was angry and beat it with his staff. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Oh, we're doing Shrek now, I see. God's inhabiting the donkey and making it say, "Stop hurting me." God never got involved when he called for all those previous animal sacrifices, but the second a donkey gets hurt because God's angel is standing in the way, God steps in to play mediator. By the way, along with the serpent in the Garden of Eden, this is the only animal that ever speaks in the Bible. And while a lot of Christians doubt the literal interpretation of the serpent talking for some reason, this story does not get dismissed with the same urgency. Talking out of your ass just took on a whole new meaning. Balaam answered the donkey, "You have made a fool of me. If only I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." The donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your own donkey, which you have always ridden to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you?" "No," he said. Well, if he was talking to a donkey, he probably should have said, "Nay." Am I right? Because it's a donkey? That was stupid. This is such a weird conversation. Why isn't Balaam's only line here? Why is the donkey talking? He's acting like this is perfectly normal. Have they had conversations before? Also, don't threaten to murder someone when God's messenger is standing right over there watching this whole thing. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with his sword drawn. So he bowed low and fell face down. "Quick, donkey, he's on the ground. Go get his stick and get revenge. It's payback time." I guess there's some literary flair here because Balaam just lay down at the sight of the angel just as the donkey did a few verses ago. Weird, but okay. The angel of the Lord asked him, "Why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times? I have come here to oppose you because your path is a reckless one before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If it had not turned away, I would certainly have killed you by now, but I would have spared it." Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned. I did not realize you were standing in the road to oppose me. Now, if you are displeased, I will go back." "I'm sorry, angel of God, for doing the thing God told me to do." Notice that the angel says, "I would have killed you had your donkey not turned away." Because just a few lines ago, Balaam told the donkey he would have killed it had something not interfered. Everyone is just threatening each other now. So it is just like a regular family road trip. The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you." So Balaam went with Balak's officials. Why are these people so cryptic? Just tell Balaam what you want him to do. Stop acting like he needs to wear an earpiece the whole time so God can communicate with him. When Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the Moabite town on the Arnon border, at the edge of his territory. Balak said to Balaam, "Did I not send you an urgent summons? Why didn't you come to me? Am I really not able to reward you?" "Well, I have come to you now," Balaam replied, "but I can't say whatever I please. I must speak only what God puts in my mouth." Then Balaam went with Balak to Kiriath Huzoth. Balak sacrificed cattle and sheep and gave some to Balaam and the officials who were with him. The next morning, Balak took Balaam up to Bamoth Baal, and from there he could see the outskirts of the Israelite camp. Balak's like, "Didn't my money do its job? Why didn't you come sooner?" And Balaam's like, "Look, I'm here, but I'm being controlled by God." Which is weird, because why would you give away the trick to the guy you're trying to fool? But Balak is like, "Whatevs, let's murder some cows and go on a journey." And the scene ends with them looking out upon all the land the Israelites have now taken over. Balak has no idea Balaam has already spoken to God's messenger. I have no clue where this story is going anymore, or why we're following these 2 dudes instead of the Israelites. But we're not done yet. We have a 3-episode arc with these guys before we return to the main storyline. I just hope that Talking Donkey is there too.